They thought the throne they threw in your path would make you trip. Little did they know it became your stage. The universe has a flawless memory. Every attempt to break you was recorded, and every silent cry you swallowed is now fuel in the cosmic engine that pushes you forward. What they don't understand is that the game they played wasn't just unfair, it was unwinnable. Because when you try to bury someone who was born to rise, you only guarantee your own fall. This isn't about revenge, it's about universal balance. The kind of balance that never misses a beat. Life has a way of handing out consequences in silence, letting karma speak louder than any argument. The same ones who mocked your setbacks will soon be haunted by your glow-up. Because every step they tried to sabotage only rerouted you to something greater. Their manipulation became your motivation, their hate, free fuel. Critics are often just spectators afraid of becoming irrelevant. They threw shade hoping you'd wither, but you grew in the dark. Chosen one, your existence unsettles people who built their worth on your silence. You are not a glitch in their system. You are the system reboot they can't control. The power you carry terrifies them because it was never theirs to understand. If you've ever felt this shift in your spirit, this undeniable surge in purpose, then you're right where you're meant to be. Like and subscribe if you know this message is yours. Comment 77 if you're stepping boldly into the era they said you'd never survive. This isn't coincidence, it's confirmation. What you're feeling, what you've survived, what you're stepping into, only the chosen will understand, and only the chosen are built to carry it. Stay with me till the end, because this message was coded for you, and no one else would even believe it if they tried. Number 1. Stop thinking. It's just motivation. This is a spiritual wake-up call before it's too late. They thought throwing chaos your way would break you. They assumed that stripping you of support, draining your energy, and isolating you in silence would finally bring you to your knees. But they misunderstood what you're made of. Chosen ones are not built in applause. They're forged in pressure. When the walls started closing in, you didn't collapse. You expanded. You bled and still moved. You cried and still rose. You were shattered into 1,000 pieces, yet somehow each shard learned how to glow in the dark. Let them believe you were drowning. They never knew you were learning how to breathe underwater. While they were watching for your downfall, the universe was watching your discipline. You didn't just survive the storm, they did. You became the storm. And the truth that rattles your enemies the most? You didn't need a crowd. You didn't need validation. You needed the silence. Because that's where your transformation happened. They couldn't understand how you kept going. When your account was empty, your spirit remained full. When your health wavered, your vision stayed locked in. When people ghosted you, betrayed you, ignored your pain, you didn't chase, you channeled. They expected breakdowns, you delivered breakthroughs. And here's the twist they'll never recover from. Every time they threw an attack, it was secretly activating the very strength they were trying to destroy. That's the irony of the chosen path. What was meant to crush you became your certification. What was meant to delay you was actually rerouting you to divine timing. The chaos wasn't just allowed, it was calculated. Because only those marked for more can handle that kind of internal earthquake and still keep their foundation intact. You were always meant to walk through fires others wouldn't survive. Why? Because your reward isn't just for comfort, it's for legacy. You, chosen one, weren't being punished. You were being prepared. That confusion, training ground, that heartbreak, armor fitting, that isolation, sacred protection. The ones who walked away didn't abandon you, they exposed themselves. And now, while they remain stuck in cycles they created, you're about to break through into a level they can't access. This isn't just a comeback, It's a cosmic realignment. The very universe is shifting in sync with your healing. So if you've been wondering why your soul's been stretched so far, it's because your destiny needed room to unfold. You are not behind. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. And what's next is not recovery. It's revelation, not return. It's rebirth. Get ready. The next few moments will reveal the signs you've been praying for, the whispers you've ignored, the shifts you've felt. Because your reward isn't just on the way, it's already circling you, waiting for your alignment to match its arrival. They tried to end your story. Instead, they witnessed your evolution. Chosen one, your power is the kind that makes your enemies question everything they thought they knew about you. And the reward? It's already waking up the ground beneath your feet. Number 2. Quit playing small. Your survival was the blueprint for total domination. They told you to stay quiet, to shrink, to not take up space. They hoped your silence would mean surrender, but you were never designed to play small. Chosen one, your survival wasn't a lucky accident. It was a calculated declaration. Every moment you were still breathing, still standing, still moving. You were building a blueprint that your enemies could never decode. You see, people like you don't survive by chance. You survive because you're called to dominate. While they were watching you fall apart, you were actually being pieced together, stronger, sharper, more dangerous. They tried to crush you, but the pressure only made you more precise. You were never just meant to make it through. You were meant to rise and reign. They laughed when you were low. They whispered when you were quiet. They thought you were finished because they couldn't see the war you were winning in silence. But domination doesn't start on a throne. It starts in the dirt. And you've already proven that pain can't stop you. You've already shown the storm that you're the one it should fear. So why are you still dimming your light to make others comfortable? Why are you hesitating when the universe has already cleared your path? The same survival they overlooked is the exact evidence that you're dangerous beyond measure. Not because you're loud, but because you're still here and still rising. This is your permission slip to stop apologizing for the weight you carry. Chosen one, stop playing small. You weren't built for survival, you were built for takeover. And now it's time to show them what unstoppable actually looks like. Number 3. Don't confuse attacks with weakness. You're a threat, and that's why hell targeted you. They didn't come for you because you were weak. They came because you were a threat. The more pressure you felt, the more dangerous you actually became to everything that tried to keep you small. Every setback wasn't random. It was strategic. It wasn't a glitch. It was a direct response to your power waking up. Attacks only intensify when something in you starts to rise that they can't control, can't replicate, and absolutely can't destroy. Let's get this clear. Chosen ones don't attract peace before their rise. They attract war. You weren't hit with storms because you were off path. You were hit because you finally found it. And what shook others to their core only sharpened you. While they cracked under tension, you learned to move through fire without making noise. They called it coincidence. It was warfare. Silent, targeted, calculated warfare. Because your existence disrupts systems, breaks cycles, and triggers spirits that have kept others asleep. You're not struggling because you're cursed. You're battling because you're activated. What most people call drama is actually destiny in disguise. The chaos around you has been trying to get your attention. Not to scare you, but to remind you what you're carrying. You don't blend in because you weren't built to. So the next time you feel under attack, don't retreat. Don't question your worth. Smile with the kind of confidence that scares your enemies. Because chosen one, if you were truly insignificant, they would have left you alone a long time ago. But they didn't. They couldn't. Because deep down they know exactly what you're becoming, and it terrifies them. You're not hunted because you're weak. You're hunted because your rise is inevitable. Number 4. Stop ignoring your power. These 5 spiritual weapons were forged in the dark, to win in the light. They told you to stay humble, stay quiet, stay small. But what they were really saying was, don't discover your power, because the moment you do, everything changes. Chosen one, you've been walking through life unaware of just how dangerous you are to the forces that tried to break you. Not because you shouted the loudest, but because you learned how to master 5 silent weapons, each one sharpened in the dark when no one was watching, when the pain was real and the world was silent. While they were flaunting superficial strength, you were building unshakable depth. You mastered your emotions when others drowned in theirs. You embraced solitude and turned it into sacred strategy. You tapped into an energy source that doesn't burn out because it isn't external, it's divine. You learned the art of strategic silence. You didn't respond to their noise, you let your progress speak for you. And finally, your mind, rewired for purpose, transformed into a fortress that lies, fear and shame could no longer penetrate. You didn't find these abilities, you earned them. Through betrayal, through abandonment, through storms meant to destroy you, but instead of breaking, you became built. And now that you carry these weapons, nothing hits the same. Their tactics fail. Their manipulation bounces back. Their chaos doesn't reach you like it used to. Because you're not reacting, you're reigning. So stop ignoring the arsenal inside you. These aren't traits, they're tools. And they were never meant just to help you survive. They were meant to establish your authority. You weren't trained in the dark so you could stay hidden. You were forged there to rise and win in the light. This isn't just growth, it's a takeover. And you are the revolution they didn't see coming. Number 5. Silence is your superpower. Use it to starve chaos and confuse every enemy watching. They expected noise, they expected rage, they expected you to defend yourself, to explain your worth, to scream for validation, but you gave them none of that. Instead, you chose silence. And that silence? It shook them harder than any confrontation ever could. Chosen one, your ability to say nothing while everything inside you is screaming is not weakness, it's warfare. Silence is your sword. It starves the chaos. It chokes the lies. It leaves your enemies swinging at shadows, begging for a reaction that never comes. They can't fight what they can't predict. And your stillness, it's the most unpredictable move of all. While they were spreading rumors, you were building. While they were mocking, you were mastering. Every time they tried to bait you into drama, you smiled and walked away, and that decision dismantled their entire strategy. Because the power of a chosen one is not just in what you say, but in what you withhold. Your silence exposed everything. It made them talk louder, show their true colors, reveal their intentions without you ever lifting a finger. You see, people reveal more trying to provoke you than they ever would in peace. And you mastered that. You let them talk while you let the results speak. You let them lie while your glow told the truth. You became the storm that moved in quiet. Chosen one, you are feared not because you're loud, but because you're unshaken. And that silence they laughed at. It's the very thing that's leading you into a reward they'll never be invited to witness. Stay quiet, stay focused. Because silence isn't just golden, it's divine strategy dressed in disguise. Number 6. Don't take it personal. Jealousy is the alarm that you're rising and they can't handle it. Don't take it personal. Jealousy is just the smoke that rises when your fire gets too loud for their comfort. It's not that you changed. It's that your evolution revealed how much they never did. People you once laughed with now glare from the shadows. Friends turned into spectators. Support turned silent. And you're left wondering, what did I do wrong? But chosen one, here's the truth. They're not mad at you. They're mad at the mirror your growth became. Your rise forces them to confront the parts of themselves they've ignored. Your progress feels like an attack to those still standing in the same place. You became the proof that excuses don't work forever. And that kind of proof is threatening. It's easier to call you lucky than to admit you earned it in silence. It's easier to whisper behind your back than to applaud with honesty. But none of it can stop what's coming. Jealousy is the early warning system of transformation. It alerts the insecure before success even hits the surface. So when they start pulling back, acting cold, or suddenly resenting your light, don't shrink. That tension is confirmation. Their distance is divine protection. Because not everyone can breathe in the atmosphere you're stepping into. Some people need you to stay small so they can keep feeling important. But your calling is non-negotiable. Your purpose is not up for public opinion. Keep rising. Let their discomfort grow. Because what's ahead of you will silence every whisper they thought would define you. And when the reward lands, you won't have to explain anything. Your glow will do the talking. Number 7. Stop acting like you're still fighting. 97% of the demons are already defeated. Chosen one, stop bracing for a war that you've already won. You're walking around like the battlefield is still active, but the dust has settled, and your enemies are buried beneath it. They threw everything at you. Confusion, delays, setbacks that made no sense. They whispered lies at midnight, tried to convince you that your strength was slipping, that your progress was pointless. But here's the truth. They never wanted you to discover. 97% of what was assigned to destroy you has already been dismantled. You're not in the middle of the storm anymore. You're standing in the aftermath and the silence around you. That's not a setup. That's victory. You've become so used to surviving that peace feels suspicious, but listen carefully. Not all quiet is danger. Sometimes it's evidence that the war is over. That spiritual pressure you carried was proof of how powerful you are, and now that pressure is breaking because it did its job. It transformed you. The only reason you're still feeling that lingering resistance is because the last 3% of chaos is desperate. It knows its time is short. It's subtle now. Emotional triggers, mental fog, people reappearing just to throw you off course. But even that final attack is falling apart. Why? Because your energy has changed. Your discernment has sharpened. You see through distractions now. You're not who you were at the beginning of this. This isn't the time to shrink. It's the time to recognize your rank. You didn't survive by accident. You dominated by design. So walk like it. Think like it. Move like someone who's already crossed the finish line. Because you have. And the next chapter, it's not a battle. It's your coronation. Number 8. Don't let your guard down now. The final 3% of warfare is meant to fool the strongest. Just when you thought the worst was behind you, that's when the real test shows up. Quiet, subtle, calculated. It's not the loud chaos anymore. It's the whispers, the delays that don't make sense, the random heaviness that hits you out of nowhere. That's not burnout, chosen one. That's the final 3% of the battle, and it's the most dangerous because it doesn't look like a fight. This is where most strong ones fall, not in the fire, but in the comfort after it. Because when the storm quiets down, your guard starts to slip. And that's exactly what the enemy is banking on. This 3% is deceptive. It uses your own progress against you. It tells you you've made it, so you can relax. It tells you it's safe now, so you can step off the path. But what it's really doing, testing whether you're disciplined enough to carry the blessing you've already earned. You didn't come this far to lose at the finish line. Chosen one, your strength scares them. But if you stop here, if you settle now, that last 3% becomes the hook that drags you back into cycles you already outgrew. Stay sharp. Stay focused. The reward isn't waiting for the relaxed, it's reserved for the relentless. Number 9. Stop chasing peace in people. It's already inside you, and that's your weapon now. They told you peace came from people, that if you could just fix the relationship, earn their validation, or gain their approval, you'd finally feel whole. But chosen one, you were never meant to beg for peace from broken sources. That was the trap. They gave you chaos and watched to see if you'd crumble. They triggered storms in your life and stood by, expecting the winds to wipe you out. But instead of collapsing, you turned inward and found power. Peace isn't external. It's not found in apologies that never come or in the silence of those who vanished when you needed them most. Peace isn't given to you by people who misunderstand your purpose. It's built inside you, in the darkest nights, when the world went quiet and all you had left was your breath, and even that felt like a fight to keep. But you made it. You found stillness in your own spirit. And that kind of peace, it's not soft, it's not fragile, it's weaponized. Your calm presence now makes people uncomfortable, not because you've changed, but because you're no longer controllable. They can't shake what doesn't need their approval. That rattles them, because your peace is no longer dependent on their behavior, their acceptance, or their performance. You took the power back. So stop chasing, stop explaining, stop waiting for someone to get it. You're not waiting for peace to arrive. You are the peace that disrupts chaos. You are the presence that makes confusion back away. The storm didn't end. You became the eye of it. Chosen one, remember, your silence isn't absence, it's dominion. And that unbothered energy, that's your new armor. Number 10. Don't beg for recognition. God is about to elevate you publicly in front of every doubter. Don't beg to be seen, because the stage that's being built for you will outshine every room you were once denied access to. Recognition doesn't come when you chase it. It comes when you embody what they tried to erase. Chosen one, they didn't forget you by accident. They overlooked you on purpose. They laughed when you were quiet. They mocked you when you were loyal. They pretended you didn't matter, hoping you'd start to believe it too. But what they failed to realize is this: their rejection was your redirection. Their silence was your signal. And now, the elevation they thought would never arrive is going to arrive so loud, even they won't be able to ignore it. Every stolen idea, every closed door, every skipped invite, it wasn't the end of your story. It was the opening act to something greater. While they were busy building alliances through flattery and ego, you were building substance in silence. While they relied on exposure, you were being trained in obscurity. And now the universe is aligning its spotlight, not just to illuminate you, but to humble those who thought you were beneath them. This rise will not be subtle. It will not be background noise. It will be front-page energy. A public unfolding of everything you were becoming while no one was watching. They're about to witness your value in the places they once swore you didn't belong. So no, chosen one, don't beg, don't chase, stand firm, because what's coming will speak louder than any words you could ever say. And when it hits, the same mouths that doubted you will be too stunned to speak. Number 11. Stop asking why you were attacked. It was your greatness they were trying to bury. Chosen one, the attacks didn't come because you were weak. They came because your greatness made noise in realms your voice hadn't even reached yet. You were never targeted by accident. You were hunted because your presence alone disturbed the systems built on illusion. They saw your light before you even knew you had it. So stop asking, why me? Ask instead, what in me made them panic? You didn't attract chaos by mistake. You were carrying something the darkness couldn't replicate, and that terrified them. That level of potential is disruptive. Your very existence was proof that someone could rise from nothing, from betrayal, from brokenness, and still walk with unshakable purpose. So the attacks, they were never personal, they were strategic. They wanted to bury the version of you that knew who you are. They thought if they threw enough dirt, you'd start to believe you belonged beneath it. But what they didn't expect was this: you weren't being buried, you were being planted. And what grows from pressure, from silence, from pain, is untouchable. The ones who tried to destroy you weren't afraid of your past. They were terrified of your future, the lies, the rejection, the setups. It was all an effort to dim something they couldn't control. But here you are, still rising, still chosen, still becoming what they said you'd never be. You didn't just survive what was meant to destroy you, you forced it to become your stage. Now they have to watch what they tried to silence take center spotlight. They tried to bury you, but the universe knew you were a seed. And seeds don't die in the dark, they bloom in it. Number 12. This isn't just survival anymore. Step into your royal role or stay stuck in old cycles. Chosen one, let this sink in. What you're walking through now is not about staying alive. It's about stepping into who you were always meant to become. Survival was the training. Royalty is the assignment. And here's the brutal truth. If you keep treating this like it's still about surviving, you'll stay circling the same broken loops that were never designed for your destiny. You've already outgrown the dungeon, but your mindset is still wearing chains. It's time to shift, time to stop apologizing for your strength, time to stop dimming your light so they feel comfortable in your shadow. You didn't endure fire after fire just to come out holding ash. You came out crowned. But if you don't claim that crown now, someone else will wear the benefits of what you bled for. This isn't about ego, this is about execution. If you keep waiting for someone to validate you, you'll miss the throne that's already been placed in front of you. Life is not offering you second chances, it's offering you inheritance. But inheritance must be claimed, not with noise, but with presence, not with begging, but with boldness. The same storm that tried to bury you is now the reason the universe recognizes your name. You're not a victim of your past. You are the evidence that resilience is royalty in disguise. So here's the line in the sand. Either step into the role or keep playing small. This moment won't repeat, and the cost of hesitation. Remaining stuck in a cycle that your crown was designed to end. You've survived. Now, rule. And now, as this truth settles into your spirit, let it mark the turning point. This isn't just another message, it's a mirror. You've outlasted what was meant to end you, and now the path ahead demands your full authority. No more shrinking, no more repeating cycles. The crown is already yours. It's time to wear it like you were born for it. If this message struck something deep inside you, like and subscribe so you never miss what's meant for you. And drop "I claim my crown" in the comments to declare your alignment with the season you've been forged for.